So are we ready?
This is Jay.
This is A.
And this is Mocksicated,
where we drop the booze and walk through the reality of life alcohol-free.
So grab your favorite mock, get ready to laugh, and let's get Moxicated.
Hey, hello, how are you?
I'm great.
You're great? Why?
Because it's my birthday tomorrow.
Anything else happening this week?
Some other exciting things that I'll save for a later date.
The suspense!
But it is a very exciting week
for
me. Moi.
Yeah, tell us more.
Well, I am turning 37.
Ooh, 3, 7, 10, 1.
Mm-hmm. So it's my start over year. It's my new beginnings year. This was my completion year. It was 9. So 3 plus 6 is 9. And there was a lot of completion done this year. And there, in that completion made room for new beginnings. So entering, and those new beginnings really came in like the last couple months of 36. So entering into 37, like it feels like a Monday. I know that today isn't Mox Monday, but it, like this chapter of my life feels like it's a fresh start on a Monday. And I think that that's what I'm like going into this year, almost like a clean slate and a blank page, and thinking like, okay, what can I create from this? Because going into this last year, it was like I felt the destruction heading into the year. It's almost like the energy starts a month or two before. And so I really felt like the breakdown of so many things at the end of 35 into 36. So it's really great to be in this space and to be like in a positive mindset. You know, my birthdays have always been hard for me. So like to have a positive mindset and be excited, even despite the shit that we've experienced, you know, like it's really cool and refreshing because I'm not always like an optimistic person. So when I do feel naturally optimistic, it's so good and so needed for my soul. So yeah, that's that.
That's that. Episode's over.
Well, and we have learned a lot, not just me, but Al too. And obviously every year you learn. That's what the point of life and time is to grow and learn and get better and understand things in a different way. But I think this past year has just been so rebuilding, destroying and rebuilding, which is like the essence of Scorpio for both of us in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Yes. I think back to the end of February, we went on a retreat, which was like life-changing in itself.
Yeah.
But at that retreat, we did a burning ceremony, and I burned, A, I'm not taking shots of water anymore, and B, I don't have to be everything for everyone. Mm. And when I said that, I don't think I realized what it meant.
Yeah.
And I have had people break up with me this year without a great explanation. Mm. And I've been blocked, and I've been, you know, and you guys know I love closure and I want to talk things through. When there's an issue, I need to get to the bottom of it. And this year, it did not. None of the things that happened were able to have that kind of closure. Mm-hmm. And so it's been a huge learning lesson for me and how much I put on other people for myself, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so I know, reflecting, like, I will not put myself in these situations anymore, which sounds kind of negative, but at the same time, it's like I give a lot of who I am, and I'm very vulnerable in all of my spaces, and I expect that respect to come back to me. Mm-hmm. And I realize I'm giving everyone my power and I'm not getting it back. And so that's a huge reflection for myself, and just in friendships, business-wise, in relationships. I think this year for me, like Jess said, destruction and rebuild, like I've had some huge hurdles in my life that I have to remember that when Chris and I met, we had nothing. Mm-hmm. And we'll get through this. Mm-hmm. And that we don't need anything. And that we will figure it out, because when we started, we had literally nothing. I was driving my mom's car. He was driving his sister's car. I was a cocktail waitress. He didn't even have a real job. Like, we literally had nothing and built an empire. And so it really just made me come back to that I got this, you know, and I don't need all the extra fluff. I don't need all the things. Yeah. And it's kind of pouring into my children now, because now I'm like, we don't need these toys. We don't need that. We have so much stuff in our tiny house. Let's get rid of it.
I feel like for us, that is such a huge breakthrough, and something that maybe we are both newly experiencing as shopaholics, like, and loving our kids so much. Going to a store and leaving without something for a kid was very hard for me to do. And I'm like, I'm not even going to put it on my kids. Like, it was me that was like, oh, you want this little Hot Wheels car? It's only 99 cents. Or you want this thing. And coming to that conclusion of like, no, we don't need that. And then seeing them be like, okay. And you're like, oh, that was me this whole time. And it's so beautiful, because it's, you know, we operated like that for our own reasons, but then to kind of feel like, oh, we need to pull back on that and have our kids follow us is such a cool gift.
No, and I think for my kids, a huge part is we've done a lot of an intentional work on showing them the value of money, which is like they think that money literally grows on trees.
Yes,
like
they
that.
do.
And I'm like, no. And so even like this past weekend, Quinn wanted something that she didn't realize was $18. And she was like, oh my gosh, Mom, those pants are $18. She's like, well, I'm not using my money for that. And I'm like, well, I'm not using my money for that. You have pants. If you really want these pants, you have money. Yeah. And you can spend your $18. And I've seen her already twice now have like buyer's remorse off of things where she's like, I want that so bad. And then she gets it and I make her hand over her money. And she's like, I don't want to give you that money. And I'm like, that's what it costs. Yeah. Like, you know, and so even that, I feel like is a huge lesson too, because now she's starting to look at things like through the monetary lens. And I don't think I was ever really given that. Well, I didn't have everything, but I didn't need for anything. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
My parents always figured it out. I didn't know the value of money until much later age.
Until you were 18 on your own.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the two of us were trying to figure that stuff out together.
Yeah. And then even that was really jaded for me, because I was a cocktail waitress and could make $200 in a night, and that would pay for my bill the next day. So that taught me I don't need to save for my bills, because I'm going to work on a Friday night and I'm going to make $200 to $300, and I'll use my cash for that. Yes. It was like literally my dad sat me down and was like, you make stripper money. You're never going to make this money with your degree, and I don't know how you're going to come back from this. And guess what? I never came back from it.
We were rolling Elephant Bar days.
Yeah. I mean, Elephant Bar hit Albuquerque, and it was like
wads hit the wallet.
Like, I don't even know why it was so cool here, because in other cities they did not have this effect. But Albuquerque would have like a 4-hour wait to go to Elephant Bar.
We love a theme.
Yeah,
we love a theme.
We love a theme.
Oh, it's so funny.
Another huge thing that happened for both of us this year is Moxicated getting signed.
Yes.
And going to LA, going to the studio.
Yes.
Another getting a new space. If you're watching on YouTube, you know our space has changed. And I mean, it's been a labor of love. Yeah. It's made us have to be patient. It's made us make commitments that were scary, but knowing and trusting each other that it's just going to work out no matter what happens.
And I honestly think if I can jump in on this, the other part of that is we are totally okay if nothing happened at all. Yes. Like, we weren't ever in it because we wanted to get signed or travel to LA. We were in it because we wanted to help people that were like us, that didn't know if they could have a life that was alcohol free, and normalizing alcohol free has always been our goal. But I think the coolest part of this year, reflecting back, is, season 2 wasn't the most
groundbreaking,
number producing part, we weren't, oh wow, all these people are listening to us. But that never affected us. We never thought about it. I'm only talking about it now in retrospection, because when we were going through it, we never sat down and were like, oh, we're really not getting that many listeners. Do you want to keep going? That wasn't ever a thought in our head. We're just like, okay, what's the episode next week? What's the episode next week? We're just going to keep going. And then something that happened this year in our 3rd season was we got maybe noticed by a couple more people. People started listening to us. We started networking more. We got signed, and it's such a lesson in patience, in if you are doing things for the reason that you intended to, the reason that your heart intended to, and that's truly why you're doing them, then in the long run, that pays off one way or another. And I'm just very grateful that we've gotten to experience this, because all along the way, it was never for outside people to want to, pick us up or anything. It was for outside people to understand that it's okay to not drink alcohol.
Yes. Yeah. No. And this has truly been a passion project for us both. We've had hard times through it, but it's never been a hard time. So I think that's a huge part too, and how much Jess and I have grown since season 1. Yeah. Personally, career-wise, just everything.
As our friendship?
Yeah, our friendship, relationship-wise. I mean, it's there's no ceiling.
There's no ceiling. And there is no ceiling when you have the intent of your heart. And that has just been something that has shown true so much, I think, for both of us this season.
And I mean, not to say too many details, but also when we were approached with this, there's a lot of monetary talk. And at the end of the day, we both looked at each other and we were like, if this gets us in front of more people, that's what we're doing.
We just want to help more people.
Care. Yeah. That would be cool to make money. But at the end of the day, it's not about the money. It's about getting in front of more people who are sober curious and that can relate to the chaos
of our lives.
All of it.
Well, and it's so important to not be jaded by any of the stuff, I think, that goes down, and to continue on your path for the reason that you set out for, because you never know what's going to come from it. You never know where an opportunity is hiding. And I think that some of the coolest stories that I've heard are that, when you go into it because you want to fill a need for the collective, and because that was your original goal, now the collective is getting that need, and whatever comes from that beneficially comes from that beneficially. But it's truly just a lesson, I think, in not giving up, not letting outside influence affect you.
Yeah. Because truly, comparison is the thief of all joy. It is. And we could sit here and compare Mocksicated to these other sober Instagram, other sober podcasts.
Any podcast.
Anything, and it's that's not what this is.
Yeah, it's been a great year for Mox. And honestly, earlier I wanted to piggyback, but I'm glad we got to the Mox part. But it was, I think for me, super interesting because Al has always, we're like the yin and yang, right? We're so much alike, but we also have such opposite ways of living. And Al is such a people person. Everyone loves her. She's always had a lot of group of friends. She's always had friends. I don't know why I was thinking hose and area codes. I know that's so bad.
I got hose and area codes.
You do.
For sure.
And it's, as her best friend for so long, I've seen this and I've witnessed this and I've witnessed her friendships and all of the parts of her friendships. And for me, I am only friends with the same people I've been friends with since I was 16. So, it's like no new people have been able to kind of break through, even if they were there for a little bit. And I think that through the years, I got more closed off because of the things that had happened to me. And so this year I made like we talked about it on Mox, a very like open hearted decision to welcome female relationships into my life. Without holding back, because that's what I always do is I hold back and I find reasons to not move forward. And it brought so many beautiful things to my life. And especially the first half of the year brought so many beautiful friendships and women and wonderful experiences and conversations. And then as we started shifting into the summer seasons, some of these relationships that were new, but were something that I had poured my entire heart and soul in because I know nothing else, fizzled, turned against me, abandoned me. And it was very hard for me to not go back into my shell because I have lived my life this way for so many years. And I finally say I'm opening myself up. And it wasn't just like losing a friend status. It was like somebody wanted to come at me. It was like lies about my character and all of this stuff that I'm like, I invited this into my life. I asked for this. And then I had to just like recenter. And this is part of like one of my bigger reflections is like, no, don't go back into your crab shell. Don't go back into your scorpion shell. Like, you said you wanted this and you didn't give any boundaries. And so naturally, what's going to happen? You're not going to have a 100% streak. It's not going to be 100 out of 100. Like, there has to be some situations that come in to help you kind of refine that. And I just didn't expect it to look the way it looked. But I think that Allie did a good job of saying how it has refined her view. And it almost takes out to like a completely different place of where she's been before. And for me, I'm having to navigate this line of like, don't go back to where you were. Don't go back to where you were. Don't go back to where you were. Stay open, but stay guarded. Stay open, but stay guarded. And that almost, it can be harder on my brain, not making any sense. But it really has allowed, this word keeps coming up for me and Allie, and one of Allie's friends used it. And I just don't know why it's sticking with both of us, but discernment. Yes. Is like, we have really learned discernment in things. And I think that discernment is good for me because it's not just like cutting someone off, not just saying no. It's like, okay, I have something there. And instead of like going full force and cutting someone off, I'm just going to listen to that and I'm going to follow that. Really listening to your intuition. Yeah. And see where that takes me. And, like, that doesn't mean I can't have relationships with people, but maybe, because there's discernment there, I keep an arm's length or I don't let them in as much as I did. And I have to kind of expect, looking back, I had to expect to get burned a little bit. Like, I didn't give myself any boundaries. I didn't give myself any barriers. I didn't say, I want to open my life up to women that are empowering to me, women that do, I just want to open it up to women. Yeah. And I love women. So don't, it's just that there's all kinds of us out there in the world. And unfortunately, the experiences that I had weren't great.
Well, and I think something to be said too are these women we invited into our most vulnerable states.
Both of them, yeah.
Both of them.
Yeah.
And we were in the most vulnerable circles with them. Mm-hmm. And these women all knew things that our sisters don't know about us, that our best friends don't know about us, because we went into it so open. And honestly, it has taught me a lot. Mm-hmm. And it has shown me a lot. And I hate the phrase no new friends, but that's what was trying to seep in. And like Jess said, like, no, we're not closed off for the rest of time. We just have boundaries that need to be set in place, especially with ourselves, because we we not did this to ourselves, but we didn't have our guards up. We openly shared the most vulnerable parts of ourselves, and then for the way that it was received in the end and then just cut, like, it was very shocking to the both of us. And both of us, like we always say, are both very different. It has been incredibly hard for us to navigate because the way that Jessie heals is not the way that I heal, and the way I get some closure is not the way that Jessie does. And so even both of us trying to be there for each other don't know how to be.
Right. And navigate our own pain while being there for the other person.
Yes. And it's like, it's that, I mean, we've learned a lot from each other as well, and our own relationship in this too. But yeah, it's been a huge year of growth that's been painful.
Painful, yeah.
That's been enlightening. And yeah, no, I have no regrets, but I also will do things differently.
Yeah. I think, gosh, I was going to say something, but it went out. When I look at the pain that was caused to me, and when I look at how I handled it, that was a gift that, like, I get emotional, but like, I have been multiple times, you know, the girl with the scarlet letter. I've been the one that everyone has turned against and talked about, and never ever been able to speak my truth in so many situations where people mislabeled me so badly. And really, like, I know that this sounds stupid, but I have literally had like groups of people after me, like trying to get me. And that was, you know, in my early 20s. And so at 36, like, that was long gone. I've locked people out. And so to have to re-go through a situation where I was mislabeled, talked about, lied about, blatantly lied about, openly, and have to sit with myself knowing, again, I can't tell my truth. I'm not ever going to get an opportunity to tell my truth on this. And the first half of that for me was very triggering. It was very sent me back. Like, why does this keep happening to me? It's me. I'm the problem. Like, it's obviously something about me that this is happening this many years later. But after that wore off, I was able to kind of see the, like, Jess, look at how you handled this. And last time, you know, it was enough for me to, you know, be labeled with CPTSD. I'm not laughing at it, but that's like how bad it affected me. And this time I was very grounded throughout it. It was almost like, yeah, you've been through this before. You know what happens. You know how it dies. You know how truth comes out. Even after years and years and years, truth comes out, things mend, people move on. And so having that in my pocket and being able to shift from being triggered to why does this always happen to me, to like, oh my God, this has happened to me before, and I've been through it and I got through it, and I was a lot worse that time, you know, and look at how much I've grown, and I'm not curling up in a ball, and I'm not shaking every time I leave my house. And so that was really cool for me to kind of, in this horrible situation, really look at the core of me. And I think that these last 2 months have really made me look at who I am, because there was so much mislabeling and me trying to sort through it out, and being able to be like so proud of who I am, and like being proud of who I am when people are saying awful things about me. Like, that's a challenge. Yeah. And so to be able to kind of move through that is just like, you know, we always talk about a toolbox, and I just feel like I have so many more tools in my toolbox, and you do too. Yes. About how we're going to handle things and how we're going to move forward. And it's been really eye-opening for us, but I'm really proud that neither one of us are ending this closed off.
Yeah. No.
And we could have so easily.
Yeah, and we could have talked shit back. We could have thrown rocks. We could have, said, actually, this is what happened. But
You know what?
we haven't.
You know what I would have liked to do for all of my Bravo fans out there? If you watched Real Housewives of Miami, Gertie hosted a whole party for herself. The party was for herself. And in the middle of the party, she put up screenshots of text messages that someone at the party had been lying about to her group of friends the entire time. And it was petty, and everyone gave her crap about it. And I was like, dang, I would really like to do that. But I didn't.
Yeah, no.
Because we understand at the heart of things, I think,
Yeah.
Al and I. And I think that that's another reason why we get into the situations we get into in our friendships, is because we are both double water signs. We gush.
Yeah.
We flood. We love. And if you feel our love, you feel it. But I also pull my water back, and the tide gets real low when you mess with me and you don't feel that water anymore. But yeah, it's been such a good year of completion. And one thing that maybe in the future that we can get into is, this has been a very tough year for my marriage. And coming out of this year, I have learned so much about where I have to grow when I didn't think I had anywhere to grow. And it took a lot to get me to see that. And so it really just adds to the theme of this like destruction and rebirth, because there was so many things inside of us this year that needed to be knocked down so that we came out of the other side. And in our personal lives, 100%, but Moxicated, it's all been good, right? There was nothing that needed to be knocked down, but there kind of was. And Allie and I don't think we've talked about this, but Allie and I got a tarot reading in March
For my birthday.
for her birthday. And the tarot, Allie went first, and she pulled a card and said something about coming out of the closet, which stuck with me because I kind of thought about where she was going. And then when it was time to read me, she said it again. And then she looked at Allie and was like, didn't I say that about you? And her and I just laughed because we're like, she probably at that point thought maybe we were in a secret relationship that needed to be exposed. But we were like, it's the podcast. And she was like, you need to get out of that closet.
Yes.
And from the second she said that, even if we didn't get out of the closet right away, we put our intentions into that. We manifested that. And the way that this journey picked up and started rolling from that tarot reading that said we needed to get out of the closet. Why did we need to get out of the closet? Because our little girls were not thinking that this was real. And so we said, all right, bet, got out of the closet, and this is what's happened.
Yes.
And so it's such a beautiful thing, I think, to look back, and it doesn't have to be your birthday. It's definitely not Allie's. And just reflect on, how far you've come over this year. It doesn't have to be December 31st or January 1st. Like, even right now, take a pause, reflect on the lessons you've learned, even if they weren't the easiest or the best feeling ones to walk through. Because like we said at the beginning, that's what this life is about. You learn and you grow and you get wiser.
Yes.
So thank you for walking this year with us.
Yes.
We are so happy and feel so thankful that anyone listens to us besides our moms. So we love you so much. We are so thankful for you. This year has been incredible for Moxicated. And so, reflect on how much you've done for yourself, alcohol-free wise, personal wise, work wise, and just be proud of what you've done. We love you, babe.